If someone keeps your relationship undefined, if they resist labels, if they refuse to clarify where you stand, listen very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you isn't about them being confused or scared of commitment. It's about control. Before we get into this, if you've ever been stuck in situationship limbo, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're diving deep into the psychology of relational ambiguity today. Here's what most people don't realize. When someone won't define the relationship, it's not because they don't know what they want. It's because ambiguity serves them. Psychologically, unclear boundaries give them maximum freedom with minimum accountability. They get the benefits of a relationship without any of the responsibilities. From a power dynamics perspective, the person who cares less controls the relationship, and keeping things undefined ensures they always maintain that position. You're constantly seeking clarity while they're constantly withholding it. This imbalance is intentional. Behaviorally, this shows up in very specific patterns. They act like your partner in private but won't claim you in public. They want your emotional support but won't offer commitment. They expect loyalty from you but won't promise the same. This isn't confusion. This is strategy. Quick question. Where in the world are you watching this from? Drop your city or country below. I love connecting with our community across the globe. Psychologically, ambiguity creates anxiety, and anxiety creates attachment. When you don't know where you stand, your brain goes into hypervigilance mode. You analyze every text, every interaction, every shift in their behavior, looking for signs of where this is going. This constant state of uncertainty activates your attachment system. You become more focused on them, more preoccupied with the relationship, more willing to accept less than you deserve just to reduce the anxiety of not knowing. From a neurological standpoint, this intermittent reinforcement is incredibly powerful. Sometimes they're all in, giving you exactly what you want. Other times they pull back, leaving you confused and desperate to return to the good moments. This unpredictability creates a dopamine response similar to gambling. Your brain becomes addicted to the uncertainty. The highs feel higher because the lows are so low. You stay hooked on the possibility that next time will be different, that finally they'll give you the clarity you're seeking. Let me paint you a picture. You've been seeing someone for months. You spend nights together, share intimate conversations, meet each other's friends. But when you ask what you are, they say they don't like labels. They say labels ruin things. They say, "Can't you just enjoy what we have?" So you agree because you don't want to seem needy or demanding. But inside, you're dying for definition. You want to know if you can make plans, if you're exclusive, if this is going anywhere. And that uncertainty eats at you every single day. Or think about the person who treats you like a partner in every way, except the one that matters. They want your time, your attention, your body, your emotional labor. But the moment you ask for commitment, they accuse you of pressuring them. They make you feel like wanting clarity is unreasonable. This is what relational ambiguity looks like in practice. It's not about taking things slow. It's about one person maintaining all the power, while the other person accepts crumbs and calls it a relationship. Neurologically, this creates what's called cognitive dissonance. Their actions say one thing, their words say another. Your brain struggles to reconcile the contradiction, so you focus on the actions that feel good and dismiss the words that create doubt. You tell yourself that what they do matters more than what they say, that their behavior shows they care even if they won't say it. But here's the truth. When someone wants you, you know. When someone is serious about you, they make it clear. Ambiguity is always a choice. Psychologically, people who refuse to define relationships often have avoidant attachment styles. They want connection, but fear engulfment. They want intimacy, but need escape routes. Keeping things undefined gives them the closeness they crave with the distance they need to feel safe. But here's what they won't tell you. Their discomfort with commitment isn't your problem to solve. Their fear of labels isn't your responsibility to accommodate. You're not being understanding by accepting ambiguity. You're being used. From a relationship psychology perspective, healthy relationships require clear agreements. Not because labels matter inherently, but because clarity creates safety. When both people know where they stand, they can invest appropriately. They can make decisions about their future. They can build something real. Ambiguity prevents all of that. It keeps you in a state of perpetual audition, constantly trying to prove you're worth claiming. And no matter how perfect you are, it's never enough because the problem isn't you. It's that they don't want to claim anyone. And if this is resonating hard right now, if you're in this exact situation, type "me" in the comments. You need to know thousands of people watching this understand exactly what you're going through. Here's the part that makes this particularly painful. People who resist defining relationships often use your desire for clarity against you. They frame you as needy, clingy, insecure. They make you feel like the problem is your need for commitment, not their refusal to provide it. This is gaslighting. They're reframing a reasonable request as an unreasonable demand. And if you buy into that narrative, you start policing your own needs. You stop asking for what you want because you're afraid of seeming desperate. Behaviorally, this creates a pattern where you shrink yourself to fit their comfort level. You accept less than you want. You quiet your needs. You perform cool girl or cool guy, pretending you're totally fine with ambiguity when really it's tearing you apart. Psychologically, this is self-abandonment. You're prioritizing their comfort over your own well-being. You're betraying your own needs to maintain access to someone who won't even acknowledge you publicly. From a power dynamics perspective, the person withholding clarity holds all the cards. They can keep you around without commitment. They can date other people without accountability. They can leave whenever they want without explanation. You have none of those options because you're emotionally invested in a way they're not. Let me tell you about another pattern. The person who says they want to take things slow, but their version of slow has no endpoint. Months turn into years, and you're still in the same undefined space. Still waiting for them to be ready. Still hoping this will turn into something real. This isn't taking things slow. This is stringing you along. Slow movement still involves movement. This is stagnation disguised as patience. Psychologically, these people often have one foot in and one foot out. They like what you provide, the companionship, the sex, the emotional support. But they're not willing to close the door on other options. So they keep you in limbo while they see what else is out there. From a commitment perspective, if someone wanted to commit to you, they would. The timeline wouldn't be indefinite. The conversation wouldn't be avoided. The relationship wouldn't exist in this gray area that serves only them. Here's what people in healthy relationships will tell you. When both people want the same thing, defining the relationship isn't hard. It's a natural conversation that happens organically. It doesn't require convincing, negotiating, or waiting for the perfect moment. The fact that you're struggling to get clarity is the clarity. Their resistance to definition is them telling you they don't want what you want. They're just not saying it directly because that would mean losing access to you. Behaviorally, pay attention to how they respond when you bring up the relationship. Do they get defensive? Do they change the subject? Do they promise to talk about it later but never do? Do they make you feel bad for asking? These are all signs that ambiguity is working for them, that they benefit from keeping you uncertain, that your anxiety about the relationship status is less important to them than maintaining their freedom. Psychologically, this reveals something crucial about how they value you. If they cared about your peace of mind, they'd provide clarity. If they respected your needs, they'd either commit or let you go. The fact that they're doing neither tells you everything. From an attachment theory perspective, this often attracts people with anxious attachment styles. You're drawn to the challenge of winning them over. You believe that if you're just patient enough, understanding enough, perfect enough, they'll finally choose you. But here's the truth. You can't earn someone's commitment. You can't convince someone to want you. Either they do or they don't. And someone who wants you doesn't make you guess. Let me tell you about the conversation that changes everything. The one where you say, "I need to know where this is going." And they respond with some version of "I don't know," or "let's just see what happens," or "why do we need to label it?" That response is your answer. It's not, "I don't know." It's, "I don't want to commit to you, but I don't want to lose you either." It's not, "Let's see what happens." It's, "I want to keep my options open." It's not, "Why do we need labels?" It's, "Labels would require me to be accountable, and I don't want that." Psychologically, you have to translate their non-answers into the truth they're not saying directly. Their refusal to commit is a decision. Their ambiguity is a choice. And that choice is telling you they're not choosing you. From a self-respect perspective, this is where you have to make a decision. Do you stay in ambiguity, hoping it will change? Or do you walk away and create space for someone who doesn't need to be convinced of your worth? Here's what makes walking away so hard. You've invested time, emotion, hope. You've built a story about who they could be, what this could become. Walking away means admitting that story isn't real, and that grief is real even though the relationship never was. Behaviorally, people in this situation often give ultimatums. They say, define this or I'm leaving, and sometimes the person finally commits. But here's what you need to know. Commitment under pressure isn't real commitment. It's compliance, and it rarely lasts. Psychologically, if someone needs to be threatened with loss to commit to you, they're not committing because they want to. They're committing because they don't want to deal with the consequences of losing you. That's not the foundation for a healthy relationship. From a relational standpoint, you deserve someone who's excited about claiming you. Someone who can't wait to tell people you're together. Someone who sees commitment as a gift, not a sacrifice. And that person exists. But you won't find them while you're wasting your time trying to convince someone else to see your value. Here's another pattern. The person who keeps you around as a placeholder. They're not ready to commit to you, but they don't want you to move on either. So they give you just enough attention to keep you hooked while they figure out what they really want. This is selfish. This is using you as a backup plan. This is treating you like an option while you're treating them like a priority. Psychologically, these people often breadcrumb. They send occasional texts, make sporadic plans, give intermittent affection. Just enough to keep you interested, but never enough to move the relationship forward. From a manipulation perspective, breadcrumbing is about maintaining access without effort. They want you available when it's convenient for them, but they're not willing to show up consistently for you. Behaviorally, this creates a cycle where you're constantly waiting. Waiting for their text. Waiting for them to make plans. Waiting for them to finally be ready. Your life is on hold while theirs moves forward. Here's what you need to understand. Someone who values you doesn't make you wait indefinitely. They don't keep you guessing. They don't treat your need for clarity as an inconvenience. Psychologically, staying in undefined relationships teaches you to accept less. It normalizes being treated as an option. It conditions you to believe that wanting commitment makes you needy. From a self-worth perspective, this is dangerous. Because once you accept ambiguity in one relationship, you're more likely to accept it in the next. You start to believe that this is just how modern dating works, that nobody wants labels anymore, that you're asking for too much. But that's not true. Plenty of people want commitment. Plenty of people are capable of clarity. You're just wasting your time on someone who isn't. Let me tell you what happens when you finally walk away from ambiguity. At first, it feels like loss. You miss them. You question your decision. You wonder if you gave up too soon. But then, something shifts. You start to see how much energy you were spending on uncertainty. How much anxiety you were carrying. How small you'd made yourself to fit their comfort level. And you realize that what you lost wasn't actually that valuable. You didn't lose a relationship. You lost the exhausting work of trying to turn ambiguity into commitment. Psychologically, this creates space. Space for someone who doesn't make you guess. Space for a relationship that feels secure instead of chaotic. Space for you to remember what you actually deserve. From a nervous system perspective, ambiguous relationships keep you in a state of chronic activation. You're always scanning for signs, always trying to decode their behavior, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. When you leave that behind, your nervous system can finally relax. You're no longer in survival mode. You can be present instead of constantly vigilant. Here's what people who've left situationships will tell you. The clarity you were seeking from them, you have to give to yourself. You have to decide that you're worth more than ambiguity. That you deserve commitment or nothing at all. This isn't an ultimatum to them. It's a promise to yourself. You're no longer available for relationships that don't honor you. You're no longer willing to accept crumbs and call it a meal. Behaviorally, this means being willing to be alone rather than settling for less. It means trusting that the right person won't make you beg for clarity. It means understanding that you can't negotiate someone into wanting you. Psychologically, it also means grieving. Grieving the relationship you thought you were building. Grieving the person you thought they could be. Grieving the future you imagined that's never going to happen. From a healing perspective, that grief is necessary. You have to feel it to move through it. You have to acknowledge the loss even though what you lost was mostly potential and hope. But on the other side of that grief is freedom. Freedom from anxiety. Freedom from uncertainty. Freedom from making yourself smaller to fit someone else's commitment issues. Here's what you need to know. Wanting clarity doesn't make you needy. Wanting commitment doesn't make you clingy. Wanting to be chosen doesn't make you desperate. Those are reasonable wants. Those are healthy needs. And someone who makes you feel bad for having them isn't someone who deserves access to you. From a relationship standards perspective, clarity should be the baseline, not the goal. You shouldn't have to fight for someone to acknowledge your relationship. You shouldn't have to convince someone you're worth claiming. If they wanted to, they would. And if they're not, that tells you everything you need to know. Behaviorally, the next time someone resists defining your relationship, take that as information. Don't try to understand their reasons. Don't try to be more patient. Don't try to prove your worth. Just leave. Because someone who won't claim you publicly doesn't respect you privately. And you deserve so much more than that. Here's the hard truth. He doesn't want clarity because clarity would require him to either commit or let you go. And he doesn't want to do either. He wants to keep you in limbo where he gets everything he wants without giving you what you need. That's not love. That's not even that's using someone while calling it connection. And you don't have to accept it. You don't have to wait for him to be ready. You don't have to convince him you're worth defining the relationship for. You can just walk away. And in that walking away, you're telling yourself something powerful. That your need for clarity matters more than his comfort with ambiguity. That your peace matters more than his access to you. If someone came to mind while watching this, someone stuck in a situationship waiting for clarity that's never coming, share this video with them. They might need permission to walk away. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell because we explore relationships, psychology, and self-worth on this channel. Drop a comment and tell me, have you been in an undefined relationship? How long did you wait for clarity? What made you finally leave or what's keeping you there? Your story could help someone else find the courage to choose themselves.